taking a stand, defending Freedom Convoy.
You're listening to Washington Watch. I'm Tony Perkins. So good to have you with us. Well, the trucker-led People's Convoy arrived in D.C. in the metro area over the weekend and continued its peaceful, we underscore peaceful demonstration by circling around the D.C. Beltway for hours yesterday and again today. You know, this is one of the reasons, and I've talked to people all across the country who have watched the convoys come through their communities, standing on the bridges, and they just described it as a great patriotic event. I mean, they said it was, it was a celebratory environment. Everybody just got along. It was just a great event. And you've heard on here on the program, people who are a part of the convoy. And I say all that to say I was reading an article this weekend by NBC News. Okay, NBC News, Ben Collins. And he writes about the American offshoot of the Freedom Convoy that brought chaos to Canada's capital is promising to stop traffic outside of Washington, D.C. on Saturday. This was written actually on Friday. But exact plans remain vague Friday as the group hit its last pit stop in Maryland. Then he goes on in the third paragraph to say, according to extremism researchers following the movement, the convoy now consists of several dozen tractor-trailer trucks and hundreds of cars. And he goes throughout the whole article, quoting this researcher of extremism, to suggest that these God-fearing, American-loving patriots who have taken time out of their schedules, their busy schedules, their livelihoods to make a statement for freedom are somehow extremist. This is why people do not trust the media. And folks, this is why you shouldn't listen to the mainstream or the legacy media. Well, joining us today in our special Freedom Convoy segment, I have Claire Dooley. She is a reporter with CHD TV who has been with the convoy since day one, reporting on the movements. Claire, welcome back to Washington Watch.
Hi, Tony. Thanks for having me.
All right. Tell us what this experience has been like. You've crossed the country with this convoy.
Yeah, so from the beginning, I didn't really know what to expect. Obviously, being sent out with a bunch of truckers, but I was quickly and joyfully surprised at how kind and good these men are. These men are family men, they're fathers, they're small business owners. And for them, they care about freedom, but they also care about freedom for everyone. It doesn't matter who it is and if they believe what they believe or not. It's about having freedom of speech and bodily autonomy and sovereignty of the self. So we started in Adelanto, California, and all along the way, I've never felt more safe or cared for by a group of men in my entire life. And so it's been an absolute joy to travel across the country and see all the people coming out to lift up these truckers and the People's Convoy and bring them to DC where they are now.
So given what you've seen firsthand of the people coming out, you've seen the people of the convoy, you've seen that all of this has been peaceful. It's been, kind of like a 4th of July parade moving all the way across the country. What do you think about the legacy media and how they're covering this?
I've never been more shocked at the difference in what the media is saying versus what's actually going on here. So all of the people here care about freedom. And most of them will tell you that they don't care if it's about, they're not exactly pro-Trump or anti-vax. These people just care about freedom. And the news is calling them QAnon mythology funded, right, or, pro-Trump, pro-anti-vax, dangerous white supremacists. And here I see people of all colors, all walks of life, all ages, families, children, young people, old people, and everyone here has been so peaceful and so precise in what they want. And now that we've landed in DC, I think a lot of the media kind of expected the convoy to just jump in and cause mayhem and traffic, and that's not their intentions. And so the organizers have really been very diligent in how they move forward and making sure that they take their time, they play things out right, and they accomplish what they started off to do. The goal is not to cause division; it's to unite people under one cause. And so it's really beautiful to see that moving through these different cities.
And speaking of that, in D.C., I've seen unprecedented security in D.C. Beginning last weekend, they had the buses and the snow plows blocking exits, police everywhere. It was a nightmare trying to move through the city. I mean, what has been the response among the convoy in terms of what D.C. has done in preparation for them?
So everyone in the convoy, once again, has a common goal, and they want their voices to be heard. And so for the past 2 days, instead of jumping in, the entire convoy has been riding around the Beltway, which surrounds DC. And so yesterday, the lead truck of the Beltway, on the Beltway, reached the end of the route, which was the beginning for some people. And the convoy stretched all the way around the entire Beltway, which was 63 miles long. And so these guys, once again, are being cautious. They don't want anyone to get arrested. They don't want another January 6th on their hands. Right. And so they're being very cautious moving forward.
Yeah, it speaks for itself. All the way across the country, it has been a very peaceful, patriotic movement, just celebrating freedom and saying, look, respect our freedom. And I applaud the truckers and all of those involved in the convoy. Claire, thanks so much for joining us. Great to talk with you.
Thank you so much, Tony.